When we go into the filter zoom, we can get access to Trillion's stereo dual filter architecture. So right now we have this low pass filter, Juicy 24 dB, with some settings left over from last video. This is what it sounds like. Now when I open up the zoom, we'll see the filter zoom in three distinct sections. The center section are common controls, and we have these that mirror what are on the front panel: cutoff, resonance, key tracking, and envelope. And spread is a new control. What this allows us to do is spread or position the cutoff frequency in the stereo field so it can move from left to right. Now on the left and right here we have controls for the two independent filters, and by default you'll see this filter is on, filter 1, and this is the filter we've been working with, and filter 2 is disabled right now. So right now we have offset controls pertaining to each of the two filters that offset these values from these global controls that apply to the entire filter. So for example, I can offset the cutoff. So you see it's offsetting it for this filter only, but not this filter. And similarly with spread, right now it's in the center, but I can offset this. So we really get a stereo effect with the cutoff moving from side to side. Let's leave it like that. Now let's turn on the second filter, and we can choose the filter type from this drop-down menu, and this isn't the same as the presets. We have access to the preset filter, and this is the same that's on the front panel, but here we call up the specific filter type that we want for this second filter. And we have the usual suspects here: low pass filters, high pass, band pass, and here's some of the specialty types. Let's try an all pass filter. And what this does is it creates a kind of phasing between the frequencies. So all the bands do pass through. There's no actual bands or frequencies being filtered out, but it creates a phasing type of effect. So let's turn this one off, and we can hear just this filter now. And I'll put them both on, and we have a choice here of running them either in series or parallel. Right now they're running in series, which means that the output of filter 1 is being fed into filter 2, and then from there it's outputting. So that works nicely. Let's try one of the metal pipe filters, and these are really nasty. You got to put the gain down when you're using these. These are kind of stereo comb filtering effect. Now I'm going to put the gain slider down because I don't want it to overload the system right now, and it's important to note that the gain slider works either in pre or post mode. Pre meaning it will affect the signal being fed into the entire filter section, versus post meaning it'll just act as a volume control and either attenuate or boost the actual volume leaving the filter section. So let me put this one down for now. Let's turn this one off and we'll hear just the metal pipe. And plus and minus just inverts it. So we get some real dual filter action here. Now the other thing we can do is run them in parallel. And what that means is the signal will be fed into filter 1 and filter 2 individually, meaning filter 2 is not being affected by filter 1. The unfiltered signal goes into here and here equally. And in this case, we have a mix slider where we can mix how much of either one we want in the blend. So you can hear a nice dramatic difference just by switching how they're run. Series, parallel. And we can control the mix. And here I'll put the gain up a little bit. So now we're hearing less of the metal pipe, or now more of the metal pipe. Let's try all pass in parallel mode. And similarly, the gain works in pre-fader where we can attenuate or boost the signal being fed into the entire filter section. So here it actually is changing the quality of how the sound is being filtered by feeding a higher signal into the filters versus just a regular volume control when it's in post mode. So that's a little introduction to the dual filter architecture. Again, just to sum up, these center controls apply to the whole filter section, and these are offsets for each of the individual filters, and we select the filter type from in there. And of course, we can change this type as well if we want. We can put this to high pass or UVI, which refers to a legacy filter architecture from older versions of Trillion and Atmosphere. Let's try a high pass filter. And we work the offsets like that, and spread control will affect the cutoff, the position of the cutoff frequency in the stereo spectrum, and mix slider works only in parallel mode to blend the two filters together. And the gain control, as I mentioned, works in pre or post, meaning it'll affect the signal being fed into the entire filter section, or just act as a volume control once the sound is filtered. See you for more in the next video.